Okay, welcome to the Trading Buddy Futures and Forex forecast for the week of January 15th. My name's Kevin. It's good to be with you this week. We made some good calls last week, and so it'll be fun to see what happens in the coming weeks here in January. Hope your trading is going well. Let's start with the all-important stock futures. Now we're looking at the ES, and you can see that we last week we predicted that uh, we would see some rising prices, that the rally wasn't over. And we definitely got back up to the highs here. And so you can see that that paid off for us pretty well. Coming into next week, I'm actually going to be looking for some sell signals, and you can see why here. We've got our advanced decline line coming down a little bit, and you can see that with the price making higher prices up to these highs, the advanced decline line did not come back up to these highs. And typically in January, you see profit taking anyway. So I'm expecting mid month here. Might not happen right away. We might try to break the highs of right here. We might try to break it first and then come down. There might be some sell signals that way. Or we might come back to Thursday's low. Thursday's low is going to be a sell signal for me. So looking for attempts to go higher and then failures of that and three bar reversals going back down, or just coming to Thursday's low is going to be a sell signal on the S&P 500 futures for me next week. The Russell 2000, if you also take a look at that really quick, you can see that it's been a lot weaker than the NASDAQ and the S&P. The Dow Jones has come down a little bit more as well. So you can see that these prices have not come up the same as the ES and the NASDAQ. So that tells me the kind of the broader market that we are going to be getting some selling in here potentially. Obviously, this one could, catch up with the other ones and we could see some more rallying. That obviously could happen. But what I am expecting next for next week is sell signals in the stock futures. Coming to our precious metals, we had an attempt to go down and past these pivots. Luckily, my stops, I'm long the silver and gold markets. Luckily, my stops, they were very, very close from being stopped out. And then we got a huge reversal on Thursday afternoon and then Friday coming back up. I'm still expecting silver to come back up into this area, so I'm just holding on to that position. And but if it does break Thursday's low, that's a sell signal for me. That's about where my stops are anyway. So we'll keep an eye on that for next week. I'm not exactly sure based off of some of our indicators where this is going by the end of February. It's going to be pretty choppy, I expect. And so silver coming back up in these highs is a definite possibility. Gold has been stronger than silver, and you can see that the price open interest volume has kind of been weaker than the price. And so I think gold will try to rally back up to this maybe 2100 level before chopping around like silver. And so I'm going to be very careful about holding long term the precious metals and just looking at that consolidation play, selling the highs and buying the lows until we get a clear signal on what direction they want to go. Typically, holding precious metals is always a good bet. We've got physical gold and silver that my family that we're holding that we're just expecting to go up in the long term as a hedge against inflation and our currency potentially losing value. So it's always a good bet to hold precious metals. But as far as trading futures, we'll look for gold to come back up to these levels and then taking profits. For the energy markets, this is about the time that I'm going to start looking to go long. You can see that right here, the crude oil tried to break above this trend line that's coming down, and it came right back down. But typically, that's a nice little setup to see if it can get back. So if we can get back to Thursday's high on Monday, then that's going to be, I think, the start of a new movement back to the upside, back to the 80 level or even the 84, 85 level up in here. A couple of weeks to a month and a half is what I'm expecting this market to come and start having a little bit of a rally. Obviously, geopolitical tensions and things like that could have an impact on it. So you always have to be careful when trading crude oil. I said last week that, hey, we should be looking for buy signals in natural gas. This is where it was right in here, and it came all the way back down. I was expecting it to come down just a little bit more so I could get in, but missed this big move. So I'm expecting with this previous low, you can see that it came up, came back down and tested, and now it's coming back up. And so the bullishness has already started with natural gas. I kind of missed the boat a little bit, so I'm waiting for pullbacks and looking for buy signals in the natural gas market. Just it's unfortunate that I missed it, but that's trading. It's interesting because sometimes in the markets I'm looking at, I'm expecting a move in one market and waiting for a certain time for a move in another market. And natural gas has already made the move that I was expecting a couple weeks down the road, and then I'm expecting the grain markets to make a move, and yet it's still going down. So this market right in here, like I mentioned last week, I have a very small position, so I'm okay with it going against us here. I'm going to be adding to this position once we get a buy signal. So you can see that soybeans have come down. It's broken this level and stayed below this level. And then Friday it had a big down day, but a rally off of that. So I'll be looking for adding to my small position if Monday it gets to Friday's high and we start seeing some bullishness in these markets. But I am expecting the grain markets to continue onwards and upwards eventually, but obviously we need to get a buy signal. So like I said, I have one contract on this, is a very small position. I'll probably be adding another once we get a buy signal. If you're not in on either the soybeans or the wheat, I would be looking at wheat and corn more than soybeans at this point. That wasn't the case 6 months ago. Soybeans was much stronger than wheat. But you can see that wheat, the same level here that soybean broke, wheat has been holding. So wheat is the stronger of these markets as far as the grains are concerned. But you can see that we still need a buy signal, and I have a small position on this, and I will be adding to my longs once we get a break of this trend line and possibly a test back down. So if we come back to Friday's high on Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, then we break up the trend line, come back down, I'll be looking to add to my long position and hold on for the ride for the next couple of months. The bond market, I'm also looking to be long, and you can see that it's been holding this position right in here, holding these lows. And so I'm expecting this trend line break to continue back to the upside. I'm currently long a contract and looking for a possibility if it breaks Thursday's high on Monday, potentially adding to that position and seeing where this goes. We've got some momentum to the upside. So if you're not long this market, Thursday's high is an entry or a pullback, and then a break of a previous high. Okay, let's take a look at our Forex pairs, the few Forex pairs that we like to look at here, starting with the dollar yen. I was expecting the dollar yen to come back down into this area. It actually broke above that pivot, immediately came back down, and so it is holding. So if the dollar starts to weaken a little bit here for us, then we should see some more selling. But at this point, I'm on the sidelines with the dollar yen. I was wrong on how far this was going to come up. I thought it would meet this resistance right in here and this old support over here, and it kind of has. But the carryover trade with this dollar yen is still pretty strong, it seems. So I'm gonna wait on the sideline and see if we can break this low. That might take a couple days, or if it breaks this high, maybe hit some resistance around here and then forms a break of this uptrend that it's creating right now. So I expect this next week to stay on the sidelines a little bit, even though I'm still bearish the dollar, the US dollar. The the dollar Swiss franc is probably, let's actually take a quick look at the dollar Swiss franc. If you're wanting to sell the dollar Swiss franc might be the best one because we always say sell the weaker, buy the stronger. And right now you can see that the dollar Swiss franc is definitely weaker, the dollar against the Swiss franc. And so if we see, the thing is it's just not as volatile, and so it doesn't move around as much. So I don't like trading it as much. But if you're not as if you're not as aggressive or you like to trade something that isn't as volatile, this is a good pair to trade with. And so I'll be looking for sell signals and then stops above these previous highs for selling the dollar. Being a buyer of the pound has been pretty good this week, even though we've chopped around. It hasn't been a very active week. We didn't have a lot of news or anything, but you can see that these previous lows held. There was that downward the previous week, but we are seeing that these prices are just kind of lingering in it. Didn't get it back up to this high, but didn't come back down to the low either. So it's just been a consolidation market this week. Uh, I'm not sure what to expect, so we are going to be being very careful about our trading. If we get back up to these highs and it doesn't show a lot of momentum to it, we may be selling against that a little bit back down, trading this consolidation at this point. But if it comes back down to these lows, I'll be still looking to be a buyer. So I'm looking to buy the lows, sell the highs, and look for breaks and tests of those breaks. Nothing huge like we saw nearer toward the end of the year. Okay, for the euro, you can see that the euro is much weaker than the pound. The pound is back up closer to these previous pivot highs, but the euro has just been consolidating down here below the yearly open. And so it's really going to have to show some strength. If there's more volatility that comes into this market, we may see uh, this market come up a little bit higher and then the pound break its previous high and keep on going. But look for breaks of this consolidation. But for now, we're just going to try the consolidation play. You can see though, the longer it stays in a certain area of price, the something like in here, the markets move in expansion, then consolidation, and then expansion again. And so right now we're in a consolidation. It expanded down into here. Will we have an expansion? Yes. Do we know if it's to the downside or to the upside? We don't know yet. And so again, I think it could be to the upside when it comes to the pound and the euro because of the dollar interest rates potentially coming down this year. That's the forecast from the Fed. And so that would cause more dollar selling, but it could easily come back down into these pivot levels first, as far as the euro is concerned, before making another leg to the upside. So we just have to trade what we see, not what we hope. And on this one, for now, sell the rallies, buy the dips. The euro yen is a very similar play to the dollar yen right now, making higher highs, a small higher low, and then breaking those highs and coming back down and testing. So right now it's steadily going back up to these higher pivots right up in here. You can see that we've come back to this area, come back and tested down. So if it breaks Thursday's high, if it breaks this pivot level up here, expect it to come and test this level in the 161 area. And if not, we need to see it break this 156 low right here, 156.50, and have it come down and break that. So with the Forex pairs, there's going to be just a lot of careful watching of what the day is bringing. I don't have a lot of confidence on either side of the direction, so I don't have a lot of swing trades going. So I'll just be looking at the day trade setups and looking to trade just a little bit there. And just being careful. So, like I said earlier, trading what we see and not what we hope or what we think is going to happen. This week's Forex forecast is pretty much stay on the sidelines and just trade overextended markets on the 5 minute, 15 minute, and sell the rallies and buy the dips. That's going to be my play this week. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for this week, and I appreciate all the support. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and pass along to your trading buddies. And we'll continue to just keep on keeping on and make 2024 a great year. So, thanks so much, and good luck with your trading this week. Take care.